Hey YouTube, and we're back with Keeping It Real with Candace. So, before I do my introduction, I just want to introduce a co-worker, but a friend and a sister to me, Miss Kelly Taylor.
Hello.
And I also call her Kelly Bell because Kelly is the one that inspired me to actually start the Keeping It Real show. Me and her both work in a company together. It's a foster care agency. She said, Candace, we all have real conversations at work, and you always keeping it real. So why don't you start a show on YouTube called Keeping It Real with Candace? So you know what? It took me a minute to get there, but I think I did it.
You're good at it.
Yeah, so I want to give props where props is due. Thank you, Miss Kelly, for pushing me and inspiring me and encouraging me.
Well, you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
This is meant for you.
Okay, so Miss Kelly, I brought her on because I wanted her to give me her perspective on military life. So this is a woman's perspective on military life, and I would like to get I do want to get a male to give his perspective on military life as well and the experience. So like I start off with everybody on the show, I always ask the definition of whatever topic that we're talking about for the day. So, Miss Kelly, you ready?
I think so.
All right. So, what is your definition of military life?
My definition is probably gonna be different because mine's more on the military spouse part of military.
Okay,
life.
military spouse. Okay.
My definition would have to be continuously moving.
Mhm.
I mean, there's constant change.
Nothing ever stays the same.
No, I mean, meet great people,
Right.
and they stay in your life in a way, but there's nothing the same. So military life, from a spouse's perspective, is always changing.
Always
completely different.
So how do you feel that something is always changing all the time? Is that a good feeling, a negative feeling?
It can be a little of both. For me, for the always changing part is I've been with my husband for 20 years, and in those 20 years...
Amazing.
I have not had a continuous job.
Okay.
Every time we go somewhere, it's starting over. It's adding to... My resume is extremely long because I'm always moving from place to place.
Right.
Getting a new job.
Right.
Enrolling the kids in new schools. Them making new friends. Myself making new friends. There's... The only thing consistent is my husband. He's been around for 20 years.
And your kids.
Yes, and they keep changing and growing too, but yes.
So I have to say is, and I have to give it from a child's perspective. My dad was in the military as well when my dad married my mother. I understand your children because we moved from Louisiana to Texas to Virginia. My dad was off, to Afghanistan or wherever else for a year. I was switching schools. I was making, like you were saying, always making new friends. You never really had a consistent friendship with people because you were always the new kid.
Yep.
I was always the new kid. It wasn't finally until we moved to Petersburg where it was like, okay, this is it. We're settled. We're not moving anywhere else. So for your children, I definitely understand. So as a mother, how does that make you feel to have to keep popping them from place to place?
It's hard. It's a struggle. When they're little, like your little ones, it's not as hard because they're young and they're not really... I don't want to say not affected because they are, but I don't think it's as real to us. We don't see it as well as the parents until now with my one son just graduating, another one in high school. The last place we were at, he made some amazing friends, really close friends. And here, we've been here about a year, and he still hasn't met that group of kids that just click with him yet.
Right.
And we've talked previously about us staying in one spot and letting him finish school, my husband going off. But of course, my children are... Their dad's gone enough. They aren't. They're not down with that at all. They're gonna follow wherever he goes.
Right.
But when I talk to him about friends here, he wants to make friends, but he's not trying as hard as he has because he knows eventually we're moving again. But he has met some good kids, but they're just not the revolving door of kids we had in the house the last place we were. So
gotcha.
About the time we're ready to leave is when he's going to meet those close friends, and
then he's gone.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I gotta have sympathy for your son in that area because I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, guys, I'll chill with you guys for 3 months and then I'm gone. I'll be here for 6 months and I'm gone. So I would say, what is the pros then?
The pros, honestly, from my perspective, I've met some amazing people. I've seen so many different cultures, been to so many different places. Even working, I've gotten different skills in my employment.
Right.
And then the pros and cons also with the marriage is it's taught me and my husband different ways of growing together as a family. And for my son, he's both of my boys are the sweetest boys that you will ever meet. They're so understanding and they're willing to accept anyone. If we were to go into a room full of people, if there's that one person that there's someone that's not talked to or is not being acknowledged, that's the one that my boys will go to and include. So they've learned how to adapt how to be sympathetic to others.
I like that. But you know, you're like that. I don't know if you know that. Miss Kelly can mesh with anybody, and that's one thing I like about you and the group of ladies that I work with, you know, in my job, is that we all love and accept each other for who we are, and we all get along. But how your boys are is how you are. I don't know if you noticed that. You kind of come in the room and you just make friends with everybody. That's really, and I don't know if you see it, but you actually do.
I don't think I've ever seen that. No.
But sometimes it takes people to show you your stuff and show good things about you and tell you the good things that you have done. So I'm just letting you know how I am. When somebody gives you a compliment, you say thank you.
Thank you.
But I'm telling you, your boys have got that from you. I really do think so, because you come in the room, you light it up, and you're just ready to include everybody, no matter who they are. And I think that's a good trait to have. So those are some good things picked up. You know, diversity. So what about diversity in the military as far as different nationalities, different people that you meet?
I mean, I think we've met almost every different nationality, considering the fact that we've been to Germany. We've seen so many, people there. We've taken the boys to Poland. We've been there. My husband has had soldiers from Puerto Rico, from Korea. I mean, everywhere. So, I mean, I don't think there's a nationality we quite haven't met yet. And even Korean, we've met Korean nationalities. So,
and were those positive interactions with people? Is it?
Yeah, honestly, most of the interaction I've had with and this is going to sound mean, it's not my intent, with other military spouses and the soldiers have all been positive. I think most of my negative interaction has been with civilian non-military people who just think a certain way and there's no wiggle room. And that's just, I think, one of my biggest pet peeves is you don't judge somebody based on anything. A person's a person. It doesn't matter what their culture is, where they're from, how there's a reason for everything. So
right.
But yeah.
Yeah. She's like, I got that one pet peeve. But see, but that also, it's a military life, but then you're working a job outside of the military life, which makes you have to interact with people outside of the military. So
which is why I'm very opinionated.
Okay.
And I tend to, when I'm frustrated, what does it usually tell me, Candace? Shut up.
Shut up, Miss Kelly. Don't say everything that's on your mind. But no, I get where you're coming from. When you're used to something and you're out of your comfort zone, that's kind of what it sounds like. But there's growth in that too. There is. There's growth, and then there's relationships and friendships that are established as well amongst that. So I would say, I don't want to go too in depth on the relationship side. Hey, Mr. Kelly Taylor. But I mean, just surface. How has it affected the relationship side of things?
Speaking from our perspective, there's been a lot. Like I said, we've been together for quite a while. We were practically babies when we got married and moved out of state, away from family. And there's been struggles where, especially with deployments, for instance, with us, we were together 3 months we were married, and I wound up getting pregnant. He leaves for a deployment, so there's me raising the baby alone. I've got my routine down, I've got my schedule down, and he comes back.
Right.
And kind of learning how to live together again all the time is a struggle. So it's taken us a while and a lot of battles, but we've kind of figured out how to balance it. Okay. And for us, it works to where, when he's gone, I've got my routine.
Gotcha.
And he comes back, he understands that there's a set schedule, things work. And I also understand I got to start including him back into that because I can't just keep doing it all myself because he's there to help.
Wow.
So we slowly start finding a routine that works again. So, but it's constantly changing.
Gotcha. And especially how you, which I understand, nothing is ever the same. You either here or there, you back, da. But I like the way how you talk about you guys have, because in marriage, marriage takes work. And y'all got to find compromises and common ground where you say, hey, babe, come on, we got to communicate. How can we work together as a family that makes a set schedule like you're talking about for everybody that works? And I like how the way you say you and your husband have grown to say, we've gone through our young stages, but now that we're older, we can sit down and say, baby, look, I was upset yesterday because you was gone for 2 weeks. Now that you back, I'm happy. What can we do right now to enjoy this moment? So how do you and your husband enjoy those moments when you guys are together?
Now it's us. Him and I, it's usually just us. There's no going out with the girls and stuff like that because when he is back with his current position that he has, he's back for a day, a week, and then he's gone again. So it's just we focus just on us. It's not. I mean, I want to go out with the girls when he's home, but that's just not going to happen. He's priority number one, as are my boys.
Right, exactly. I definitely agree. So do you guys go on your dates? Do you do movies?
When he's home enough, yes. Like for upcoming, my son's birthday is coming up on the 10th. However, my husband will be home prior to his birthday for a day, 24 hours. So we're literally picking him up from the airport. We're going to the movies. We're taking him out to dinner. We're celebrating his birthday. And then the very next night, I'm taking him back to the airport.
Right.
So we try and cram as much in as we can. But we have, in the beginning we didn't. But now, the past 10 years or so, we do try and schedule a date night where it's just us.
I like that.
So
I like that.
Keep us alive.
Yeah, because in marriage you can lose yourself on both ends. Or you can be together but not together. Be in the same house but not in the same house.
Especially with
distance.
Especially with military is one thing that I will say with both me and my husband is in the beginning when we were learning to be married in the military. He would be gone for deployments, and I would learn and grow one way, and he would grow a different way. And sometimes we didn't mesh well, but it took a while for him to understand, okay, she's independent, she doesn't need me to fix the leak, the leak in the sink. She can do it herself. And also took me saying, you know what, I don't have to, he's here, let him help, because that's what he wants to do.
I like that. That's what I was talking to my other friend about, because she was talking about when she got married, how she had to learn how to let go and kind of let him be the man in the relationship. And like you were saying, okay, Candace, now you can fix this thing. Miss Kelly, you can fix this thing. You can take out the trash. You can wash the whole house. You can clean all the clothes. If the pipe is broken, you can do it too. But how do you include him in that? And say, hey, baby, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to make you some lemonade. And let you go ahead and fix the pipe so that way he can feel included in when he comes back home. I'm just making jokes, but I like that, though. That inspires me to hear that you guys have grown and have stayed together. Because I guess my question is there a high rate of divorces in military?
There is, and I don't know if it's so much as the fact that it's just the military or the fact that the military is 1%. So if you look at 1% of the population and then look at the divorces in there, it seems like it's a lot than it would be anywhere else. But again, military is only 1% of the population. But there's a lot of divorce. In some cases, struggles with infidelity, struggles with finances, struggles where they are growing apart and one spouse just is ready to do it on their own and doesn't want to include the other spouse anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot, but it takes work and it takes you guys not wanting to give up at the same time. I think that was the trick.
You still want to stick it out with each other.
Yep.
Like, babe, you know what? I'm not going to give up on you. We're going to keep going. We are not going to stop. I love you. You really got to love somebody. You have got to love somebody to stick that relationship out. And I've seen you guys together. Y'all love each other.
Me too.
Y'all still, to me, even though you're older, there's still that young love spark that's still there.
Well, that's because it's like new all the time. He's always gone, and he comes back and it's new again.
Fresh. I still love how y'all. I love how you guys look at each other, how you interact. So kudos to Miss Kelly and her husband. I am just putting you guys up on here on this pedestal and saying I want you
Oh,
guys.
there's no pedestal.
But I'm just listen to what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
The pedestal is saying that 20 more years, 30 more years, 40 more years, 50 more years, keep it going. Do you guys do like anniversaries to celebrate the marriage?
Sometimes, and it probably sounds weird because I know a lot of the females I talk to, anniversaries are a big deal. Valentine's Day is a big deal. It's another holiday. We've missed so many that it's not a big deal. But when we are around, we do try to. Honestly, I think he's better at remembering the holidays and celebrating them. I, on the other hand, I'm like, it's another day. I mean, we're still together.
Yeah.
We often joke, though, that we've been together this long. The only way we're separated is if the other one dies. It's just not happening.
Well, I love that he said the only way you guys are separating is if one dies. I like that. You know, just
and that's an old age.
But you know, a lot of people get divorced, you know, and I understand, you know, personally. So I just like to hear that people still are together and want to stick it out for the long haul. So is there anything else that you would like to put out there for the world to know as far as military life?
It's not easy. It's not. And, you know, for the family and friends of other military families, don't get mad at your sister or brother if they can't tell you when they're coming home or if they can't come home for an anniversary or birthday because they never know when they're going to come home. I mean, for instance, my husband, and this isn't even a deployment, he was supposed to be here a certain length of time and that got changed, so we had to move up to leave sooner. Our life isn't our life. I mean, we share it pretty much and it's controlled by the military. I mean, yeah, I'm his wife, but I'm not number one. The military's number one.
Gotcha.
And you have to kind of accept that if you're going to stay married to a soldier. It's just kind of how it works.
Wow.
I mean,
That's deep, Miss Kelly. That's deep.
You got to, I mean, I guess the way I philosophize it, I can't even talk today. The way I put it in my mind is that, do I leave my husband because I'm frustrated about something he cannot control? Or do I enjoy the time that I have with him while I'm with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's a struggle. There's times I feel like I'm a single parent, but I couldn't do it. I'm not as strong as she is. But it's a struggle, but you've got to weigh the pros and cons. Are you going to let someone else dictate how long you're married? That's up to you. But
wow. So. Well, I'm excited about this topic. I really wanted to know, you know, a wife's perspective about military life, because sometimes you don't really know what somebody is going through. You're not in their shoes, and so I kind of like to hear other people's lives, because I only knew from a child's perspective. You know, my mother, she was married to my dad, and she knows what it is as well, but you've been in it a long, long time with your husband, and some people I've seen haven't stuck it out that long. So I just wanted to hit this topic today. I want to hit it again. I don't want to stop here. I also want to reach out to a male or somebody that is in the military or not anymore that would like to discuss from a man's perspective of military life, because I think it's so important, and I want to say how proud I am for everybody who's ever served in the Army. We appreciate each and every one of you guys who have protected the U.S. and all of us. If it wasn't for them, okay. So I put it up for all my military men and women, wives and husbands and children who give their lives and serve. And so we appreciate you guys. And so this is the end of the show. I will come back talking about this topic as well. So, what's the name of the show? Keeping it real with Candace. Thank you guys, and we're done. Bye. She said, keeping it real with Candace. What is going on?